Alright, this is Nate with Lindgren Sewer Solutions. Doing a sewer inspection today at 416 2nd Avenue in Sacred Heart, Minnesota. On my way down to the city main, I ran into some debris that covered the lens of the camera and made it impossible to see. So I'm going to be starting out the inspection from the city main today because I was able to rinse it off and get a picture back with that water you're seeing flow through the main right there. So got the camera zeroed out here, so we'll be able to discount and reverse. So the connection onto the main looks really good. There's no ruts or anything. It's in good shape. This pipe is looking good too. It's a little dirty, but there's no grease collecting on it at all. You can see we just came through a transition from a really sharp angle, and now we're a little farther back towards horizontal here. This pipe looks really good. There appears to be a clean out there, about 10 feet away from the tap, so it's probably somewhere near the curb. That looks like that's going to be a 6-inch to 4-inch reducer. So that means we're going back into 6-inch clay tile pipe, and they reduced it down to 4-inch when they installed that plastic pipe. But now we're in the 6-inch clay. Here's our first joint. We got a very small rut, and it looks like some mineral buildup on the top right, where we could have had some groundwater slowly leaking in over time, but that's not going to block the flow at all, so that's not an issue. Same thing here, just some very fine ruts. And again, very fine ruts. And a couple more ruts coming in, nothing crazy. This joint looks pretty good. We got a root creeping down the side of the pipe at about the 3 o'clock position, but again, very fine. It looks like it there's a little bit more of that mineral buildup here. Not seeing any cracks. So it looks like it was maybe following a root that used to be there. That was at the 3 o'clock position I was talking about. Here again, we got some very fine roots. This one at the 12 o'clock. Looks like a little bit of grease buildup in this section. Another one doesn't look terrible. Just a little fine root coming in the top. More of that mineral buildup. Okay, this joint, a very minor offset. I wouldn't say that's severe, but it is starting to shift. That's a good looking joint right there. Another couple of fine ruts. second joint. That one's looking good as well. That joint looks good. That joint looks good. This joint looks good too. Another good one. Yeah, the thing with clay is they come in 2-foot sections, so you get a lot of joints and you get a lot of opportunities for roots to intrude. Oh, here's a better one. Yeah, this is going to be some medium roots. The start of a root ball there. You can still maintain that, but keep an eye on that. This one looks good. We're about 60 feet from the main now. Another good one. Overall, this is in good shape for clay. Not seeing any major shifts. More of those fine roots coming in the top. Another good one there. This one's good. I'm not seeing any cracks or anything. It's dirty, but not seeing any structural defects here. Another good one. There's another medium-sized root ball. Yeah, this thing just needs to be used. There's a lot of sludge on the bottom. Another good clay joint. Yeah, this is not bad at all. Seems like it has been maintained. It looks like this used to be a bigger root ball, but it's been cut out, and whoever cleaned it did a pretty good job. Another good one. This one they're growing along the pipe, but they are definitely getting in. Another medium-sized root ball. I think that mark on the top is where my camera was pushed up into, because it just looks like a trail. It doesn't look like I can see any crack there. Alright. Another good clay joint here. Not bad. There's a medium one. That one's getting close to be considered a root ball there, just because it's blocking almost 50% of the pipe. Not quite. If it was at 50, I'd say that's a root ball, but that one's still going to be medium. Another little root ball there. We should be getting close to the cast iron. That one looks great. There we got a pretty good one. growing in the bottom of the pipe. That's going to be a root that coming in at the 10 o'clock position and angling down towards the invert of the pipe. Not a crack, it's just a root that's growing along the side. You can kind of see here at the 7 or 8 o'clock position, you can see how that pipe is starting to shift a little, but you can't see the outside edge of the pipe, so that's not severe. And again, you can see the trail from my camera up there on the top of the screen. Not a crack, just where my camera was wiping off some sludge. So this is going to be cast iron now. So this is the 4 to 6 connection, which is where this trail of roots is growing in on the bottom. This is the start of that. Those are pretty good sized roots there. But that's what's growing along down the pipe here that you just saw. So that's where those are coming in. So we're at 105.8, and then we're already coming back up the stack here. So just a little bit of cast iron, which looks pretty rough. It could use a good cleaning. They can smooth that out. They do have a good tool to smooth that out, but it looks like it could use it. You can see the lip there on the right where it's starting to rust off, and although we have a big gap that the wastewater can flow through, those sharp edges could potentially catch paper, or if anybody flushed a wipe, and that could cause a domino effect and possibly cause a backup. Not saying it will, but it's a possibility. Okay, and now we're coming vertically out of the pipe here. Clean off the lens a little bit. Here you can see the basement. This is the stack that we went through. Right through that clean out there. And like I said, we're at 416 2nd Avenue. The Sacred Heart. And again, my name is Nate with Lindgren Sewer Solutions.